more to go because there was sometimes after we get through watching the movies, the other boys, the other guys in the cars, they want to come by and throw stuff at us. You know. And
speaking of the white gentlemen?
Speaking of the white, yeah.
Okay.
And we had to just be careful so we didn't get caught out there by ourselves and everything. So, but
with you having attended or graduated high school and attended college, you say, for a period of time, what's your thoughts on the recent ruling by the Supreme Court to do away with affirmative action with the admissions process to colleges?
Well, I'm kind of like the brother that mixed feelings. I think he hit really the nail on the head. That the most important thing is that I think if our young black men and women see what has happened, I think they would be more prone to go to black college.
Okay, so with you being 79, have you ever experienced anything dealing with Jim Crow?
Oh, man. Have I? Well, you know, born and reared in Cincinnati, I really haven't experienced that much. But I went to college in Little Rock, Arkansas. And when I went to college in Little Rock, Arkansas, that's when it hit me about discrimination. I remember on my way to Little Rock, we stopped in a place, the train stopped in St. Louis. In St. Louis, we got off the train. We wanted to get something to eat. It was about 5 of us from Cincinnati. So we went, and when we got to this place, not that far from the train station,
yes, sir.
That's when we were told, we don't serve your kind here.
So all 5 of y'all, I'm guessing, was black?
All 5 of us are black, yeah.
Okay.
So we tried to figure out, because we'd never heard that in Cincinnati, right?
Okay.
So, of course now, we were angry. So we got back on the train and went on to Little Rock. And after a while, in working in Little Rock, going to school in Little Rock, I started working with SNCC. And with SNCC, I was just telling brother here that we went to Helena, Arkansas to try to push voter registration and got thrown in jail in Helena. And while we were in jail, the sheriff reminded us, because we were trying to be tough, right? And the sheriff said, okay, you want to be tough, we're going to take you over the bridge, which is in Mississippi. And you know what happened to those 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi.
So this was around the same time?
Exactly.
Okay.
And so we started talking about, okay, my name is this, that, and the other, so we gave up. So they let us go until we get out of town. We went home, went back to our little house, but when we got home, we jumped bad again. Okay. We're not going nowhere. We're going to still try to push these voter rights around in the community. About 5 o'clock that evening, a little boy came to the house and said, knocked on the door, said, my father said, y'all got to leave. Y'all got to get out of here because the plan is coming.
Wow.
So we didn't have time to pack and get in the car. So there was woods in back of us.
We going.
There was woods in back of us. We went and laid in the back in the woods.
Road and left you back home.
And sure enough, the Klan came, shot bullets all in the house.
Wow.
See y'all later.
And when they got finished, we came out the woods, got in the car, and went back to Ohio. So yes, I'm truly familiar.
So they shot bullets in the house while y'all was in there?
No, we were in the woods.
Oh, y'all were in the woods.
We went in the back because the little boy reminded us.
Okay.
His father said, y'all got to leave.
Okay.
So we had that.
Close call. Close call.
Yeah. That instead of the 40 acres and the mule, which never really happened,
Right.
I think
the affirmative action was in a sense a kind of reparation. And they have taken that back. Because
No ma'am, sit. Black girl.
we did not have, our people did not have the same opportunity that they had. And whatever opportunity we had, it was taken from us. And really nothing we could do about it. So I think it's, as the brother said, I think it's there's a positive side to it. But I also think it's a negative side. And I think the negative side is the mentality going around this country, that there's this fear that you give a black man a chance, he'll take over.
News, Supreme Court made a decision and said that they are doing away with affirmative action as it relates to being accepted into certain colleges, specifically white colleges.
Right. And with that to me is focusing mainly on the minority colors, which mean us blacks, American and black American. And they also are doing away with the loan that they are giving you, that they was giving you to go to college, and that helped that most of the lower class people, which is mostly the blacks, that would stop them from going into colleges because they don't have the money.
Well, first let me ask you, where did you attend college?
I attended 2 years at Ohio State, and then I went to respiratory school for 2 years.
Okay. And so what is your opinion on the Supreme Court's recent ruling concerning affirmative action and colleges and universities no longer having to adhere to affirmative action with their applicants?
I think it's very unfortunate. The reason for affirmative action was because things wasn't fair. Things have changed over the years, but they're still not equal.
Kind of grew up in Marietta, Georgia. Born in Tuskegee, Alabama, but basically grew up in Marietta and finished high school there. And went off to Tennessee State and went into the military, family and all, and children. So that's about it in a nutshell, so to speak. So.
Okay, so Marietta, Georgia, you talking Marietta, that's right there outside of Atlanta there, right?
Right, yeah. Up in Cobb County. Finished school there in 64, school called Lemon Street High School, which is no longer existing now, but that's where I finished high school at, there in Marietta.
Okay, so you come out in 64, then you experience some of what we know as Jim Crow.
Oh yeah, yes I did.
Originally born and raised in Greenwood, Mississippi.
Greenwood, Mississippi.
Yes.
Okay, so now what's the heart of the Delta? Oh boy, I know you got some stories. Can you tell us what it was like growing up as a little kid in the Delta?
Well, it was hard. My father was a sharecropper. It was hard work, but the life itself, the community, the camaraderie in the village were great.
Okay.
If there's anything that I would call good old days, it would be the kind of relationship that was fostered among the families that lived in that community.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
77.
77, man. Y'all 77 and 79, and y'all doing good.
And when we went to the movies back in those days, we didn't go by ourselves. We went as a group. I grew up in the project called Fort Hill Home, which is no longer there now. But when we got ready to go uptown or anywhere, we went as a group. We just didn't go one or two. I mean, we went like 10, 12 or more to go.
Okay, can you tell us Where are you from?
Originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Been in Georgia most of my adult life.
Okay. Okay. So, as far as your years in Cleveland, can you tell us about those years?
Actually, it was good years. I loved Cleveland. I just didn't like the weather. That's what brought me south. Tired of the snow. It's changed a lot since I've grown up. It's a great place. It's just the weather is bad.
Okay. Okay. So, what is your level of education?
College, my degree is associate degree.
Originally, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Little town in the outskirts of Cincinnati called Lincoln Heights.
Okay.
And been in higher education for 47 years, different universities across the country.
So, when you say higher education, you mean in administration?
In
or?
administration.
Okay.
Yeah. So, retired in 2011. Started a consulting firm in higher education for about 3 years, and now I just relax.
And it's just going to eliminate a lot of students getting looked over that deserve to go to college.
Okay. When you were growing up, while you were growing up, do you remember, or what can you tell us that you remember in dealing with Jim Crow in the South?
Well, I know that there were certain places we couldn't go. I mean, that's the main thing I was growing up with. Like when we used to walk to the hospital, we couldn't walk on this side of the road because of that damn man, whatever his name was.
J.B. Stoner.
Yes, sir, J.B. Stoney. We couldn't walk on his side because when we used to go to the hospital for whatever reason, we couldn't walk on his side. Mm-hmm. And when we was up on the square, it was certain stores up there we couldn't go to, you know. And when it was up by the square, it was all the black stores and the barber shop and the church was right there in their own community, and we couldn't go past that.
What we have to realize, yes, we need land. We need right here in Charleston, South Carolina. The U.S. government took that Gullah Island, I think that's what it was, and they took the land for World War I or World War II, I don't know which one of the war, to make an air base, airport. And when the war was over, they were supposed to turn it back, but they passed the law that now it become government property, and it couldn't be distributed, but they took it.
Right.
So, you know, unfortunately, the same people that were responsible for enforcing the law were the ones that were making it and breaking it.
So you mentioned growing up in Fort Hill Homes in Marietta, Georgia. So now a lot of people, you know, kind of think of Marietta as being a well-to-do community, and a lot of people not aware of, you know, the number of housing projects that existed in Marietta even way back then.
Oh yeah. In fact, we moved to Marietta in 1956 or 57, and we came from Cleveland, Tennessee. And when we moved into the projects, I'm gonna tell you, I thought I was. Y'all seen that thing called the Jefferson moving on up?
Yeah.
When we moved in the project, me as a boy, I had never seen a commode on the inside of a house where I was lived before.
Yes,
I had never seen running water. I had never seen a gas stove, stuff like that. So to me, growing up in the project, it was like, I mean, a whole new ball of wax for me. I mean, I enjoyed it. I loved where I was living at, how we grew up in the project.
Yes, sir.
Because prior to that, the some other places where I lived in Alabama, and, the Grange and Griffin and other places, we didn't have running water. We had well water.
How do you think the recent Supreme Court ruling will affect minorities and black people specifically?
You know, I have a mixed feeling about it. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because historically black institutions lost a lot of black students to white schools. Hopefully they can come back home.
Mm-hmm.
See, if the black students went back home to the historically black institutions, then of course that enrollment would rise.
Mm-hmm.
All these athletes that they were sniping off going to white schools, you know, if they came back to historically black institutions, it'd be great. So, I don't know.
I agree in the sense of sports make up so much of the revenue for the schools that that would be a big thing, I think, for black schools.
But not only that, Bill. In my 47 years, I would go to other institutions. You know, I had meetings on all these campuses, white campuses, whatever. And when I was on a white campus, our black students really didn't feel at home.
Mm.
The athletes felt at home because they'd be in the main student union.
Mm-hmm.
Our black students be over in the black student union, where you had hardly nothing in there, stand up against the wall, and there wasn't no sense of family. Understand? There was no sense of family there.
Okay.